Hi guys, my name is Stefano and I am a design strategist, but also the founder at the Strategic Design Hub, that basically is an online space where professionals come together in order to share their learning about strategic design. In this video, let's talk about the future, and particularly the way that different organizations think about the future. Let's say that there are two main mindsets in organization when it comes to think about the future. One believes that forecasts are necessary to understand the future, and the other mindset actually is based on the fact that an organization can actually anticipate the future. Now, let's explore the difference in the mindset between organizations that believe that the future can be forecast or other organizations in which the future can be anticipated. Okay, let's get started from the mindset of organizations that believe that the only thing that is possible to do with the future is to forecast it. The mindset of those organizations that truly believe that the future of their industries can only be forecasted is based on a set of assumptions. Now, the first and most important assumption is that they can't impact the future of their industry, because what is going to happen in an industry ultimately is determined by a set of variables. Therefore, rather than acting in trying to change the future of the industry, they believe that they create an algorithm, a mathematical algorithm composed by the different variables, for example, geographic variables or demographic variables, and they introduce that algorithm in a machine, in a computer, and the computer will provide a good approximation on how the future will look like maybe in 5 years' time. Organizations believing that the future can be only forecasted then start to act only after they have a good approximation of the future. In fact, there is no point to change the status quo unless something is definitely going to happen. Now, let's take a look at organizations that have developed a completely different mindset when it comes to change. Well, the most important difference is that this organization believes that they can have an impact on the future of their industries. So, rather than identifying a set of variables and creating an algorithm that will tell you or approximate what the future will look like, they start to act today. Because the action that they are taking today within their industry will have an impact on how the industry will develop over time. The mindset of organizations willing to anticipate the future is based on two assumptions. First of all, they are very conscious on the fact that they don't know what is going to happen in the industry. And because they don't know, they don't even spend a second trying to approximate the future. And second, well, those organizations are biased toward action. And they are biased toward action using projects rather than relying on structure. Projects are initiatives that a company or organization, generally speaking, embrace or start in order to learn how the future will look like. After having explored very briefly the differences in mindset of organizations trying to forecasting the future and those willing to anticipate the future, let's draw some conclusion here. The first conclusion is that, to some extent, any organization has to decide which approach to develop toward change. Is change something done to the organization by the industry? Therefore, there are a set of variables that determine how the industry will look like in 5 years' time, and the organization need to adapt to it, or rather that the organization becomes an agent of change. Therefore, the organization has to develop a set of initiatives that will determine the future of the industry. And that is quite a different mindset in the way that the people operating within the organization run the organization on a daily basis. The second conclusion here is really an invitation to open up a debate about who is responsible for understanding change. This topic is becoming more and more interesting because of the quick development in technology. If we take, for example, artificial intelligence or big data, it's really tempting to believe that we can outsource our ability to think about the future, that is an act of human cognition, to a machine, and that machine will come back with an approximation about the future. And now it's up to any organization to understand what level of accuracy can a machine provide about the future, and what still is the role of the human being about thinking about change. The last conclusion on the differences between forecasting and anticipating change is connected to the style of management within organization. Organizations that rely heavily on structure love the idea that a machine, a computer, can provide us with a certain outcome in an industry, because those organizations are only going to change if they know that a certain outcome will occur. Organizations that rely more on projects rather than structure believe that the human cognition is the best way to anticipate the future. Those organizations are biased toward action. In fact, what is a project? A project is an initiative taken within the organization in order to learn how to better serve a customer. And by developing different projects, the organization is creating new ways to serve their customers. Therefore, they have an impact on the overall industry. Stay tuned.